welcome to the 2-year anniversary of Scarlett. Let us show my humans. Thank you all for joining me tonight. It's been such an amazing road being here doing this show for the love of music, community, the people, the love for nightlife, because it's so needed right now, especially during this time. So we're all kind of struggling, feeling a little down. But this is a space for self-expression, a space for love. And I'm just really, really grateful for all of you that have been supporting this past 2 years. I want to do a big shout out to Hunt and Gather for this beautiful dress. A big shout out to Nest Cowork and the Seamless Podcast for allowing me to be in this beautiful space. Okay, because I got sponsored this year, like it came out of nowhere, and I'm just really grateful. This show has been the light at the end of the tunnel for me because I do it for all of you in our community and the love for music. And what better way to celebrate the 2 years than with the one and only Reynolds.
Thank you, Scarlett. Thank you for having me. Congratulations on the 2 years. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to have a great success in the future and now, hopefully.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel so honored to have you here, to be honest.
Oh,
And I'm,
thank you.
Take this out because like it's a little too red for me. Like I don't want to get a headache. It's been amazing, and it was one of my goals to have you here on the show.
Thank you.
So it's like it's like a dream come true.
Well, it makes me happy that I can make your dreams come true. If it's that easy, I'm willing to do it.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, I was born in the UK in 1970, conceived in 69, which a lot of people don't think is possible, but
It is. Everything is possible.
conceived in 69, and then born in the 70s, grew up, got into music in the 80s, really, well, in the 70s too, but I came of age in the 80s, so I'm definitely very attached to music from that time period.
It's pretty amazing.
I was really into games when I was a kid, and then when I was about 10, I got really into riding BMX bikes. I kind of lived in the country at the time, and damn, she's going for it. All right.
I wasn't even, it just happened.
I got into BMX when I was 10 years old, and got really obsessed with that. And by the time I was 15 or 16, I started entering contests, racing, and freestyle contests. I got more into freestyle. I got, started winning a few contests, started getting into English magazines, and then I got in a US magazine a couple of times right when I was graduating high school in England. You graduate kind of earlier there, like 16.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I wasn't really, everyone thought I was going to go to college. I was pretty academic, but I was just obsessed with BMX, and I'm like, I got to go to California first and meet I just got a US bike sponsor. So I'm like, I want to go out and meet my, manager and see what California's all about. That was in 1988, just before I was 17, getting close to 18. And I came for a month on vacation, and that was 32 years ago. Still here.
Wow. Oh, look at that.
I was about 3 there, I think. No, 3 or 4. Yeah, maybe three.
So were you
I didn't like dressing like a kid. I'd never wear like colorful t-shirts and stuff, which is ironic because I like to now. I always tried to dress like an adult. I don't know why.
That's interesting. For me, like it was the other way around. My mom will want to dress me up with like super colorful outfits or make me look super girly. And all right.
That's me and my mom. I was about 2, I would say there, 2 or 3. She was hot.
Yeah. You wanna pop this?
Sure. Popping the champagne.
Popping the champagne.
Champagne.
Yeah. So
Congratulations.
we're gonna. Woo! That was pretty epic. So see, ease the nerves a little bit.
Yeah.
Now that we don't have to worry about this, like,
Yeah.
okay. So tell me about the time that you fell in love with electronic music. I know that it was after a Depeche Mode concert.
I went to. I had a pretty bad bike accident in '89, and I had to go back to England to recuperate. And I started, going out, doing a little bit more clubbing, and I was always into music. I was going out to see like a lot of live bands at the time, and then my friend talked me into going to see Depeche Mode with him on their Violator tour in I think like 91 or 92, I think 91. And I took my first took my first hit of acid at a Depeche Mode concert, and I'm like, electronic music's actually pretty cool. Yeah.
Wow. And you know, the first acid trip is always it's always a blast, right?
Oh yeah.
How have you been able to, you know, open up different portals with
Yeah, I just broke my glasses. So no, definitely no more Jenga. I just could bounce them on there. I literally get through a pair a week.
Oh my God.
Usually sit on. So that's why I think BMX was such a good learning thing for me, because, you know, I skipped college and the career thing, and was able to make, you know, a career out of riding BMX bikes for a while until I hurt my body too bad, and the industry kind of fizzled out for a while. But it, you know, at least it taught me that you should always try and do what you love.
And that was your first gig as an entertainer.
That was my first gig as an entertainer.
And that's when you fell in love with being in front of a lot of people?
Yeah, it was difficult at first, actually. I was like kind of a nervous kid. I was never really in the school plays. Or if I was like playing the triangle in the band or something, so I had to sit right at the back, and didn't really like performing in front of people. But then, yeah, from riding BMX, you know, when I realized I was pretty good at it, then it became easy.
Then you're like, okay, this is what I like.
Yeah.
And how is it that you transitioned to DJing? How did that take you there?
Well, like I said, I was always into music, you know, pick out music for your shows. And then I had a bad accident. I broke like every bone and tendon that held my foot onto my leg. It's like pointing off to the side. And I had to go back to England to recuperate for a while. And I started going out to nightclubs and getting more into partying. And and then I think that's just like, for me, it's like I can't really be into things as just a passive like observer or spectator. It's like I have to actually be doing it, you know. So yeah, I just got more and more into DJing, but at the same time I couldn't really make a living doing that, so I was also doing graphic design.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that earlier.
Yeah, I did that for a while. You interviewed Zoe, but not long after Zoe and I got together in the 90s, we just had a baby. She got a job with Fox Motocross as their designing their sportswear line that she basically launched for them. And we moved up to the Bay Area, and then a year later they hired me to design their BMX and mountain bike line. So I never went to school for that, but I got to kind of learn on the fly, and we both did that, both did the career thing there for a while. And again, just like, it was a great job. You know, I worked in like an amazing design department with amazing people. We got to travel, but I was still working for someone else, you know?
Yeah. And then when did you decide to just work for yourself? Where was the time when you're like, you know what? I just want to do my own thing.
Yeah, well, we had to move up to the Bay Area when we were working for Fox. And then Zoe ended up leaving Fox to work for BB, you know, making decent money at the time. But we just realized that our time was just all work, and we ended up deciding to move back to San Diego. And then we were here for a few years, and we had the opportunity to open Hunt and Gather. And so we did that like 10, 11 years ago, maybe 12. I think 12, right? Sheesh. And not long after we started doing Hunt and Gather, that's when I started Desert Hearts. You know, I was already doing a night called Moonshake in San Diego. I mean, I'd done numerous nights here, trying to keep the vibe alive. And at that time, we were doing a night called Moonshake with Marky Quark and Bob Dazzler, two amazing local DJs. And we've been doing that a few years. And I heard about these guys doing an event on the other side of town called Jungle, which ended up being Mikey Lion and Marbs and Porky. And we just started hanging out. We made it so that we weren't competing with each other.
Yeah,
you know?
collaborate. Like,
yeah, which I think is always really important for like local like companies. You know, it's like, what's the point? Especially somewhere like San Diego. It's like you gotta help each other.
Yeah, we're gonna help each other.
And so we did. We started helping each other, and then we decided to. We were playing a lot of events together, like a lot of desert parties. We'd be on the same lineup, and we we're always kind of frustrated by the flow of the music. And we were just like, damn, I think we could do this better, you know, ourselves. And,
what didn't you like about those events?
there just seemed to be no flow to the music. It would be, we were playing what we loved, which was like, house and techno. And then, you get the crowd going and then they'd put on like a down tempo DJ after you.
Oh, yeah,
or
you're
some
right.
psytrance DJ or something totally off kilter for us anyways. I mean, and so we decided to throw a renegade desert party that was all house and techno. That was in 2012. And like the odds were against us. The weather was terrible. Our sound system didn't show up the first day.
Oh my God.
It was like sub-zero. It was below freezing, like at night into the morning, which is rough for like Californians.
Wow.
Like a lot of people.
We can't handle that. Okay.
No, a lot of people weren't prepared. So it like, forced everyone to like really form this strong bond. There were only a couple of hundred people there, but those couple of hundred people have become like our Pile Palace crew, which is our Burning Man crew, and have just, become some of the core people in Desert Hearts. And the next one, it went, it didn't seem like a success. We didn't make any money. There weren't that many people, but like a lot of people were talking about it, and we're like, well, let's do another one. We did another one 6 months later, and it was like 800 people. And I think that's true. I think that might have been when we had the audacity to be, let's call it Desert Hearts Festival. Like,
How do you come up with Desert Hearts?
it was just all,
Because
just
all
all
the
of us
hearts on the
collaborating.
dance floor in the desert.
Yeah. It was just we went through a lot of names, and that was the one that stuck. And so yeah, the next one we called it Desert Hearts Festival, I think, which was like a little bit tongue in cheek, and but ultimately it became a festival. I mean, whatever, what is a festival anyways? Is people getting together to have a good time.
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
it's beautiful. I mean, I love it. We put all of our like heart and soul into it, and it's never been. It wasn't started as a business. It was just like a bunch of friends getting together to try and do something like magical, which I think it is.
And you also did this because you felt that there was a lack of sense of community.
I started raving in San Diego in like the early 90s, like 92 or 93. And there was this just like awesome sense of community that like, still you see people a lot, a lot of people grow off and did, but there's still like a lot of people that I know from that period. And I did feel like, the dance music scene had kind of lost that. Like there were a lot of DJs getting paid like really high fees that would just come in and not look like they were particularly having a great time.
Yeah,
and like we were always about you hanging out. Like it's like I always want to get in the crowd and dance with the crowd, and yeah. So we wanted to bring back some of the spirit of the rave days, I guess.
For you, it's a spiritual experience.
Yeah, it is. I mean, music is a spiritual experience. I think a lot of people don't realize that, but like, vibrations are everything,
And how is it that Desert Hearts meets that criteria apart from other festivals or other events?
I mean, there are a lot of like transformative festivals. I think we just never tried to like alienate ourselves from the crowd. There's no like VIP or no special treatment.
There you go.
Like everyone can come up on stage as long as they're being sensible and respectable. Yeah. And we try and hang out with everyone and like meet everyone, and
everyone's like a big family.
Yeah, I mean, but people come there and like they talk about the vibe. A lot of people, they're like, I didn't even really think I liked house and techno, but the vibe is so good here. And everyone, you all send out vibrations, and everyone knows the intent of Desert Hearts. Like everyone comes with like their A game, just love.
Oh, I've
sharing.
I've seen the outfits too, and
like we don't sell booze. It's like you just bring, it's like you bring your own, and we give away booze.
That sounds like a party to me.
Yeah, everyone shares everything, and it's just this like awesome like sense of community. And that was ultimately, we just wanted to create a forum or a space where people could be themselves, basically, like express themselves. And
that's beautiful.
Yeah, and you hear a lot of like amazing stories of people, coming to Desert Hearts and
lives.
Yeah, like quitting heroin or going home and like coming out of the closet to their families. People have like conceived, and there've been babies born that were conceived at Desert Hearts now. And
I like that you want people to feel present when they're at your festival or when they're on your dance floor. Do you think people waste a lot of time, like as humans, like not being fully present?
Oh, 100%. I don't think like hard, most people aren't present,
How
But
can
there's
we
certain
be
things that
present?
force you to live in the moment. That's why I
How can we live in the moment?
well, doing something like when I was riding BMX bikes, for instance, and you're getting like 13 feet in the air and like
Yeah,
doing shit like that. It's like the only
a
thing, the
reality
only
check.
thing you can think about in that moment is exactly what you're doing.
When I
it
went
for-
skydiving,
yeah.
that's how I felt.
So
too.
it forces you
Yeah.
to be in the present. And a lot of people don't have that. They're always thinking about, what happened yesterday or what's going to happen tomorrow or, how they, yeah.
Is there any book that helped you be more present?
Man, that's a good question. I'd have to really think about that one. I read a lot of like amazing stories when I was a kid. Like I had an aunt that was a teacher, and she would like always buy me books. Like, so I've read a lot of the classics like Treasure Island and Huckleberry Finn and Lord of the Rings and
Oh, nice. Do you like the fiction?
not anymore. But
Not
when I was a
anymore?
kid,
When
when
you
I
were
was
a
a
kid.
kid, that was like something that when I read those books, I was there. It was like
Yeah, you got your imagination.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
I'm in that land.
yeah. And for whatever reason, I don't really do much fiction these days. I don't even particularly like watching movies.
No, no
I
movies.
mean, I will, but like for the most part, I prefer watching documentaries,
Yeah, me too.
and I
Me
just
too.
like to try and be learning something.
Something
Yeah,
new every
and
day.
that's
It's
not to
true.
say you can learn stuff from fiction, obviously. Yeah. So,
When did you decide to quit your 9 to 5? Like, when was the time when you're like, okay, I can just go full force?
it was about 6 years ago when Desert Hearts, like, finally, we got a manager, we got an agency, and we started being on the road like every weekend.
That's fun. That's so much fun.
And yeah, decided it was time.
You were like, that's it.
Yeah.
This is the time.
Yeah.
And tell me
There's
about.
some transition. I did the graphics for Desert Hearts for the first
I was just
few
gonna ask
years.
you about that because I
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
looking at the logo. You created that logo.
Yep.
It's perfect because it's
Yeah,
like
sure,
it looks like a key, but it's also DH.
Yeah, I should have bought a necklace, but yeah, it looks like DH. I was messing around with like squishing them together, and then I was like, and then this one of our designers we work with, Burke, did this cool psychedelic,
Oh, I love-
drippy version.
I
which-
love the
yeah.
psychedelic.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I see Desert Heart necklaces everywhere I go.
Yeah, I
Those
mean-
necklaces are lit.
Yeah, I don't know how many we've given out. 50,000 more. I don't know.
50,000? That's a lot.
I've heard of people meeting like in places like Thailand and like seeing someone with a Desert Hearts necklace and being like, oh my gosh, Desert Hearts, and then they'll end up like traveling together.
That's beautiful. You're
'cause-
bringing people together. That's the beauty of it, and that's why I love going to festivals and events because you never know who you're gonna meet. You never know
Right.
if you might meet either the love of your life or your best friend for life, or who knows.
Yeah.
And it's just a way to be free,
Yeah.
a way to just be one with everyone.
Yeah, I read a pretty awesome book a few years ago. It's called something like Everything You Need to Know About Business from the Grateful Dead or something like that. And, obviously, we're not on that scale, but there was definitely a lot of similarities about the way they did things, and they tried to be really inclusive to everyone in their business.
Take notes. Take notes.
And they didn't view the crowd. They didn't really view the crowd as like separate from the band because you realize that like without the
them,
crowd, there's
like,
no band.
There's no band. Yeah.
It's
You're
like
right.
so yeah. Without people coming and dancing at our shows, there's no Desert Hearts. You can't be a DJ without. It's like everyone. It's everyone's part of it.
It is. And you usually take a larger than life persona when you're performing. Are you Lee Reynolds all the time? Are you 90% Lee Reynolds or are you 20% Lee Reynolds? Like, what is like, or what are you outside of that spectrum? Like, are you always like this? All that energy, all that vibe?
I have my ups and downs, but I can usually like find the energy to, do what I need to do in the moment. There's obviously sometimes when you're on tour all the time, when you're doing like several shows a weekend, there's sometimes you gotta like, really pull it out of your,
You're like, all right,
comes from. But once you get going, once I start playing and once I'm like doing the music, it's like something
just-
changes,
yeah.
and maybe it does make me be a little larger than life. So,
Do you want more drink, by the way?
yes.
Like, all right, this is getting juicy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's time to look at some of your pictures through the years. You're down
Okay.
to do that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Always happy with the way things are going. Where is that from?
That's from London. London in about 1986, I would say. I was 15 or 16. Well, 16, I would say, because it looks like I just got sponsored by Hutch, which was the bike sponsor that I had from the US. And I guess, I know, it's funny looking back, people always said that I had a positive vibe, I guess.
So didn't you say you were a little shy before? When did you come out of your shell?
Probably around about that time when I was 15 or 16, and I started, competing in contests and having
gave you a lot.
pictures in magazines, and
That's what gave you the boost.
yeah,
Okay, let's
I think
look
so.
at the next one. Look at that. You look like you're a raver from the 90s.
I absolutely was. That was, I think, probably at 90, maybe 93, 94, something like that.
Those overalls, that was a look back then, the baggy. Not
Yeah,
no more.
loved the
Now we wear
overalls.
pasties.
Love the shave head, the goatee. I'm so ready to shave my head again, honestly, but like people recognize me from like.
I know, like, who's that?
Well, like I wish I could do that again. That's when I had like little dreadlocks.
Yeah, look at that.
That was when I started riding for Haro Bikes, which is a big bike company here in the U.S. that in San Diego that have, always been good to me and supported me. And I just got a new bike from them actually that I'm itching to take to the skate park. Oh
Whoa,
yeah.
Robert Smith vibes.
Yeah.
I know you're a fan of
Yeah.
The Cure.
Oh my
Is that where
gosh.
you got the look from?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, I'm so into The Cure, and I was literally obsessed with them at that point in my life. I mean, I still am. I still go to see them whenever I can. Zoe and I saw them in Mexico City last year.
Yeah,
which
she was telling me about the
amazing.
time that you guys met him in person.
I didn't, but
Oh, it was her?
Zoe's met him twice.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. I love the look.
And
You
like
know-
I hadn't really at that point in my life, I hadn't really discovered truly being myself and like how cool that was. In fact, it took me like way too long to figure that out. Like, not until I was really in my 30s that I stopped, really caring
like
so
more-
much about what other people thought and just started being myself and, felt so much better. And it
Yeah.
worked out for me. So,
Oh,
oh
that's
yeah,
you and
that's Zoe and I at Symbiosis Fest. We had this whole thing. It was so hot. It was so ridiculously hot. And so we decided that, I don't know, we came up with this thing, freezing gold. We're freezing gold.
I love it that you. I love how you play with your outfits too, and you're so free and you do whatever you want. I think that's
Especially at
beautiful.
festivals like that, because I think that's the thing, is like it's a time that you really can, express yourself. And
Yeah.
I'm not scared to wear makeup.
I love it. Let's look at the next one.
Uh,
Lee. Wow, magical.
spiritually.
Spiritually. Where was this taken?
That was taken. We opened a shop in LA for a while called Black Rainbow, and it turned out we really didn't have the bandwidth to keep doing it. We decided to focus on Hunt and Gather and Desert Hearts, and that was taken in the shop there when we were working on it, and we just gotten some new clothes in that I was modeling,
Look at the next
messing around
one.
with. Oh wow, you really dug deep for that one. That one is it's from Burning Man. Living my best life,
Living your best
feeling
life.
the moment. Limited experience.
What's like the deepest thing or like the most important lesson that you learned from taking psychedelics?
Well, that 5-MeO DMT experience was incredible because I felt like I was really ready for it. I didn't like resist it. I just like let go. I didn't really have any regrets at the time, so I wasn't really fighting anything. So I just felt like it just took me to like this.
You were ready for it.
I was just let go, and like I felt like I was just like at the source of creation, basically, in this like maybe like at the gates of heaven, some people might call it, but just like
You were
in like the
you
perfect
saw
light, the perfect
yeah.
frequency, it's perfect
Wow.
everything. Like the fact, like in that moment, like I knew like everything that had happened or would happen. You're like, but like almost like you're in the, if you know about like the Akashic field or like this, like the, and I just like after that, I just felt, and I mean, I felt like a different person. It's like almost like you're reborn. And when I came out of it too, like I did it in a like little ceremony with people holding space for you and like someone leading the ceremony. And like some, a lot of people threw up. A lot of people looked like some people cried. Some people this, and then I came out of it, and I was like, was I screaming "fuck yeah"? And the dude's like, "Fuck yeah!"
Like,
Yeah, I was just like, "Fuck yeah!" Yeah.
you were ready for it. You were in the right mindset.
I was, but then also when I was in my early 20s or mid to early 20s, I was reading, the Archaic Revival and some other Terence McKenna books, and I had gone me and my buddy had gone to see Terence McKenna talk a couple of times. He signed our books, and we were like, man, we really wanted to like have like some kind of transformational experience.
Sometimes you need that.
Yeah, I didn't know how to get DMT at the time, and but we ended up getting Syrian rue, which you can get legally, which is an MAO inhibitor that they have been using, in South America for years to have these kind of, intense experiences. And it basically, when you eat psilocybin, normally you're getting about 20%, I think, of the psilocybin because your liver.
Oh, okay.
And
what percent were you getting there?
But then when you eat the MAO inhibitors before and you wait like a half an hour, then you get like the full dosage. So it's like times in your mushroom dosage by like 4 or 5, and we each ate 5 grams of mushrooms, so it was like supposedly equivalent to eating like 20 or 25 grams of mushrooms.
So we got more questions. What life tip would you tell your younger self if you could go back in time?
I guess, like I said, to be yourself, have more confidence in yourself. I wasn't very business minded, I guess, at the time. I kind of got like, I could have probably done a lot better for myself and a lot of people that are like artistically minded aren't, I don't think, and that's why it's
that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's the boring part. I just want to be creative. I don't want to do business, but you kind of have to. You gotta learn. You gotta learn. So
which is funny because in school I was really good at like economics and like nerdy stuff like that. And,
not me.
But I was able
to
physics
and algebra.
Yeah, I was able to let go of it pretty easily.
And what do you want to be remembered for?
Making people happy. Maybe, I would ultimately, I know I'd love to, just change the world in some way for the better, and obviously for DJing and music and just being a good person if I can.
Yeah, you're already doing it.
I'm doing my best.
Okay, and lastly, we have the Scarlett letter. Oh, we got the drum roll. Perfect. Whoa. You're going to pick an envelope, open it, and answer the letter inside. All right. Middle. Yes.
Always the middle.
Always the middle every time.
Look at that. Sealed with wax.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see.
Isn't that more? I have to put my broken glasses on. What's the most imaginative insult you can come up with? Wow, that's a tough one because I don't like insulting people.
Yeah, me too.
You're useless. I don't love you. You're pathetic. I don't know.
Okay.
I hate you. I don't know.
That's how you know he doesn't like insulting people.
I don't want to say it.
Yeah, it's okay. Me too.
Yeah.
It's okay. I love it.
Yeah.
I have a present for you.
Wow.
Before we end the show.
Cool.
You can open it.
All right. Dun, dun, dun. Nice. Cool. Thank you.
Shirt.
Scarlett letter.
Yes.
Happy 2-year anniversary.
Thank you so much. There's a couple more things in there.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going. There's still more.
Some stickers.
Yeah, stickers.
Oh, cool. And a necklace.
Yeah, that's like special edition. I'm actually gonna be selling these eventually.
Cool.
Yep.
Nice. Got all the promo. You're on top of it. You're killing it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm ready to take it to the next level, and I appreciate your support.
Whatever I can do to help you, I'm all about it.
Thank you so much. and for being here. And thank you all for that been watching, that been sticking in the show. And I love y'all. Thank you so much. Really, I'm so happy to be here. And it's going to be fun. Now it's time for some music.
Yeah, I'm going to do a mix for you guys, and then I'm going to head home to start my stream at 10 p.m. on Twitch TV. Twitch TV /Desert Hearts Records. Memorex is going to be my guest tonight.
Oh, are you ready for some dancing, people?
Yep.
Right now,
Be a long night.
we're just gonna see what has been happening in the past 2 years, and then we're gonna go straight to the mix. Thank you all. Thank you, Lee.
Thank you.
Woo. See ya.
Mm-mm.
some of it's overkill. You know, it's overkill in technology. I mean, yeah, technology is great, but I mean, that doesn't mean you have to make everything for everything. You know what I mean? Just because you can do it doesn't mean why should you do it? I don't know, just even one about a guy that can make synthetic human sperm. For what? For what? Why do you even want to go there? Why do you even want to try that? Even if you could do it, why? It's stupid. You're wasting my money. You make us sound like dinosaurs. 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 He says, well, that's what it's like. Some of it's overkill. You know, it's overkill in technology. I mean, yeah, technology is great, but I mean, that doesn't mean you have to make everything for everything. You know what I mean? Just because you can do it doesn't mean why should you do it? One about a guy that can make synthetic human sperm. For what? For what? Why do you even want to go there? Why do you even want to try that? Even if you could do it, why? It's stupid. You're wasting my money.